Good evening and welcome. I'm Harriet Weber. On behalf of Quincy Valley Historical Society and Museum in Quincy, Washington, we'd like to welcome you to this new season of Mondays at the museum. Now, we did at least 20 broadcasts of Monday music at the museum over the summer months to help us all get through this time of COVID. So we've begun a new season tonight with the idea that over the next few months on selected Mondays, we'll be doing some talks by people, some educational programming, as well as some musical nights. So tonight is our first night. This is a musical night tonight, and it is a night based on a bagpipe bash fundraiser that we had last year here. It was also focused around a celebration in Scotland called Burns Night, which celebrates the poet Robert Burns. And it's a festive celebration, and so we'll have a few things from the Bagpipe Bash event that we had last year, as well as some new songs and poems, and even an Irish joke thrown in. So we hope you will enjoy this evening. If you'd like to know about these, you can always check out our Facebook page, Quincy Valley Historical Society and Museum, or our YouTube channel, which also is the same name. And if you'd like to receive email notifications about when we're going to be doing these, because they won't be every Monday, but selected Mondays in the next few months, you can send us a note or post on Facebook or go on our website and send us an email and send us your email address, and we will put you on our free mailing list. So we'd love to let you know. So we hope you will enjoy tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Sláinte Ma.
A few years ago, I went to Scotland with Harriet Weber and was able to walk around in the Highlands and visit quite a few places up there. And the poem I am reading by Robert Burns is My Heart's in the Highlands. My heart's in the Highlands, my heart is not here. My heart's in the Highlands, chasing the deer, chasing the wild deer and following the roe. My heart's in the Highlands, wherever I go. Farewell to the Highlands, farewell to the North, the birthplace of valor, the country of worth. Wherever I wander, wherever I rove, the hills of the Highlands forever I love. Farewell to the mountains high covered with snow, farewell to the straths and green valleys below. Farewell to the forests and wild hanging woods. Farewell to the torrents and loud pouring floods. My heart's in the Highlands, my heart is not here. My heart's in the Highlands a-chasing the deer, chasing the wild deer and following the roe. My heart's in the Highlands, wherever I go.
You just heard Mandy Otley present Robert Burns' poem, My Heart is in the Highlands. And Mandy is a Campbell by ancestry, and she had the opportunity to be able to go to Scotland a few years ago. And I know that her heart, as well as many of ours, is in the Highlands. So thanks, Mandy. The next few songs you're going to hear will be played by Diane Saunders, who's a local violinist. And she and I have been playing together for years, along with a friend, Tamara Green. We used to go and play at the Cambridge, and unfortunately all of the assisted living places and nursing homes are closed to that right now, so we miss doing that. But here tonight we're going to play a couple of the songs that we have played for there and for other places. So there'll be a couple of Irish jigs, the Kesh jig, a song called On to California, a song by Turlough O'Carolan, who was a famous harpist in Ireland and wrote many of the traditional Irish folk tunes called Planxty Fanny Irwin. And then also another song called The Lament for His Second Wife, Neil Gow's Lament for His Second Wife, which is a beautiful and touching song, and Diane just does a beautiful job on it. And then followed by The Harvest Home. So I hope you enjoy those songs. No Irish-Scottish night would be complete without some fiddle tunes.
Hi, I'm Diane Saunders, and this is my good friend Harriet Weber, who is going to accompany me on the piano.
things Irish, we have Patrick Connolly presenting a poem from Ireland and a funny little Irish joke. So we hope you enjoy it. You can pretend that you're at a céilí, which in Ireland is any kind of a party that's full of good crack. And by crack, I mean that it's a lot of high step and fun with lots of music. That's what a good crack is in Ireland. So I hope you enjoy this from Patrick Connolly. Thanks, Patrick.
Good evening. My name is Patrick Francis Aloysius John Connolly. I'm a good Irish lad from the Irish Catholic neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. I left there about 52 years ago to come out west and make my fortune, and still trying now. So I'm going to do two little things tonight. One's a little poem called My Land by Thomas Osborne David, and then finish up with a little Irish joke. She's a rich and rare land. Oh, she's a fresh and fair land. She's a dear and rare land, this native land of mine. No men in her hearts are braver, her woman's hearts ne'er waver. I freely die to save her, and think my heart divine. She's not a dull or cold land, no, she's a warm and bold land. Oh, she's a true and old land, this native land of mine. Could beauty ever guard her, and virtue still reward her? No foe would cross her border, no friend within a time. Oh, she's a fresh and fair land. Oh, she's a true and rare land. Yes, she's a rare and fair land, this native land of mine. And then, horse racing is a national pastime in Ireland. And so this one is a little story about going to the racetrack. I soon got accustomed to the Reverend Fathers rushing past me to get a bet on the racetrack. My mate Trev spotted one Reverend Father making a big fuss of a horse in the parade ring one day. Amazingly, the horse went out to win the next race easily. We took great interest when we saw the same Reverend Father bless another horse in the next race. Blow me, this horse won too. Well, we were hot on Reverend Father's coattails for the third race, and as soon as he patted a horse called Foxy Loxy, we raced off to get the best odds we could with the bookies. Foxy Loxy was well up at the pace on the first circuit, but down the back straight for the second time, Foxy Loxy dropped to the rear. Then, to our chagrin, it dropped dead right by the water jump. Well, we went back to the bar that night, and we fell into conversation with a local and told him the tale of Reverend Father. "Begorra," he said, "you have to learn the difference between when Reverend Murphy is blessing a horse and giving him last rites." Here's a little Irish ditty. Racing, you know, is a national pastime in Ireland. And I soon got accustomed to the Reverend Fathers rushing past me to get a bet on the horse at the racetrack. My mate Trev spotted one Reverend Father making a big fuss on a horse that he saw in the parade ring. Amazingly, the horse went on to win that next race easily. We took a great interest when we saw the Reverend Father bless another horse the next race. Blow me, this horse won too. Well, we were hot on the Reverend Father's coattails for the third race, and as soon as he patted a horse called Foxy Loxy, we raced off to get the best odds we could with the bookies. Foxy Loxy was well up at the pace on the first circuit, but down the back straight on the second turn, Foxy Loxy dropped to the rear, and he dropped dead before he got to the water jump. Well, in the bar that night, we were talking with a local, and he told him of the tale of the Reverend Father. "Begorra," he said, "you have to learn the difference when the Reverend Murphy blesses a horse and gives him the last rites."
Hello, my name is Kylie Youngren, and this is my husband, Riley. We are going to be performing Bonnie Portmore, which is an old Irish folk song, lamenting the demise of Ireland's oak forests, and one oak tree in particular, the great oak Portmore, which actually fell during a windstorm in the 1760s. I became familiar with this song growing up. My parents listened to a lot of world music, and I just fell in love with Lorena McKennitt when I was 8 or 9 years old, and have a couple of her albums memorized, and didn't realize I had them memorized until we started looking at songs for this performance tonight. So, inspired by Lorena McKennitt, this is Bonnie Portmore.
Oh, bonny Portmore, I am sorry to see such a woeful destruction of your ornamentry, for it stood on your shore for many a long day, till the longboats from Antrim came to float it away. Oh, bonny Portmore, you shine where you stand, and the more I think on you, the more I think long. If I had you now as I had once before, all the lords in old England would not purchase Portmore. All the birds in the forest, they bitterly weep, saying, where shall we shelter, and where shall we sleep? For the oak and the ash, they are all cut and down, and the walls of bonny Portmore are all down to the ground. Oh, bonny Portmore, you shine where you stand, and the more I think on you, the more I think long. If I had you now as I had once before, all the lords in old England would not purchase Portmore. I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me these past few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away. I've been told stories and singing songs that make me think about where I came from. That's the reason why I seem so far away today. Oh, let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling, now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Oh, I have moved, kept on moving, proved points that needed proving, lost the friends that should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. I'm sitting here before the fire, in the empty room of forest choir. The flames have cooled, they can't get high. They've withered now, they've gone. But I am steady, thinking my way is clear, and I know what I'll do tomorrow. And hands are shaking, kisses flow, then I will disappear. Oh, let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Oh, let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
So the next song we're going to be doing is The Star of the County Down, and I'm just really pleased that Debbie and Elliot Coy are joining my husband David and myself on this song. You see Elliot's on the banjo, Debbie's on the guitar, my husband's on the bass guitar, and I'll be playing a little concertina off and on and singing this song. And this song is about a young man who falls in love with a beautiful girl from the county Down in Ireland. Now in Ireland, the counties are reversed in terms of the way they say them. So we would say we live in Grant County, but in Ireland they would say they live in the County Grant. So the star of the county Down is a beautiful young woman who lives near Banbridge town in this county. And this young man sees her coming down a little cart track, just a tiny little back roads road that would only be wide enough for a little horse and pony to come down. That's when he first spies this beautiful young woman with nut brown hair, and he is determined to make her his bride. Now the song never tells us whether they actually ever get together, but I sincerely doubt it. But he dreams up all of these things and what it's going to be like when she's finally his bride by his own fireside, the star of the county Down.
Such a coaxing air, sure I shook myself to see I was really there.
Ireland and Scotland, we have some things up here on display that I just want to point out. First of all, we have this picture of this cute little sheep here hiding in the doorway of this building during a rainstorm that I took when I was over there. Of course, we have the cross. Faith is very important in both the traditions in Ireland and Scotland. We've got a cute little tin-pierced lantern here that was used. This is a tartan. There are many, many tartan patterns. This is pinned with an ancient Celtic symbol pin. Right here we have the Scottish whiskey. When Paul does the address to the Haggis, you will notice he talks about the amber bead, and that reflects on the color of the whiskey, the amber bead. And our little dram glasses, so in Scotland you'd have a little dram of whiskey. Ireland would be different, you'd have pints of Guinness. And then of course Walker's shortbread here, some of my favorite things, as you can tell. So, and a candle, and just some lovely things from Scotland and Ireland here. Next, I think you're going to enjoy this presentation. It is the Ode to the Haggis, and it is the culmination of a Burns night supper. Last year at the Bagpipe Bash, we had Paul Slager learn 5 out of the 8 verses of Robert Burns's poem, Ode to a Haggis, which is a sausage, basically, from Scotland. And I have to tell you that if you have the right one made up, they are very, very good, despite what you have heard. So Paul Slager is going to present Ode to the Haggis and give us a little bit of a lesson about it first. So really appreciate him doing that. Thanks, Paul.
This is a famous poem by Robert Burns, one of the most highly proclaimed Scottish poets, and it's called Address to a Haggis. Now, haggis is a meat dish that is traditional Scottish, and I'm going to read the English version of the poem so you kind of understand what's going on when we read the Scottish version, if that makes sense. Good luck to you and your honest plump face. Now, this is a poem about the haggis sausage, right? Good luck to you and your honest plump face, great chieftain of the sausage race. Above them all you take your place. Stomach, tripe, or intestines? Well, all are worthy of grace. It's as long as my arm. The groaning trenches there you fill your buttocks, the roundness of the sausage, your buttocks like a distant hill. Your pin would help mend a mill in time of need, while through your pores the dews distill like amber bead. That's the sweat of the sausage. His knife, the rustic labor wipe, and cut you up with ready sleight, trenching your gushing entrails bright like any ditch. And then, oh, what a glorious sight, warm, steaming, rich. Then it goes on to describe the true Scotsman. But mark the rustic haggis fed, the trembling earth beneath his tread, clap in his ample fist a blade. He'll make it whistle, and legs and arms and heads'll cut off like the heads of a thistle. You powers who make mankind your care and dish them out their bill of fare, old Scotland wants no watery stuff that splashes in small wooden dishes. But if you wish her a grateful prayer, give Scotland a haggis. We'll read the poem by Robert Burns. The haggis. Fair thigh, your honest sons ye face, great chieftain of the puddin' race. Aboon ye take your place, pinch, tripe, or terror. Weel are ye worthy of a grace, as lang as me arm. The groaning trenches there ye fill, your hurdies like a distant hill. Your pin would help to mend a mill in time of need, while through your pores the dews distill, like amber bead. His knife, the rustic labor deek, and cut ye up with ready sleek. Trenching your gushing entrails bright like ony beach. And then, oh, what a glorious sight, warm, reeking, rich. But mark the rustic haggis bed, the trembling earth beneath his tread. Clapping his wally knee a blade, he'll make it whistle. And legs, and arms, and ankles knee, like taps of thistles. Ah, ye powers, what make mankind your care, and dish them out their bill of fare. Old Scotland wants nae skinker there that choops her luggies. Ah, but if ye wish her grateful prayer, give her a haggis.
So we hope you have enjoyed this evening, and we're going to end tonight with a song with Elliot and Debbie Coy and my husband David and myself, doing a song that you will probably recognize the words, but the tune will be a little unfamiliar to you, because we're doing the traditional Scottish melody to the song Auld Lang Syne. And what the song is all about is, should auld acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind, should auld acquaintance be forgot and Auld Lang Syne. And Auld Lang Syne is old, take off on the old Scottish Gaelic, which means times long past. So basically, if you can get a picture of two men who are sitting in a pub together, or it could be two ladies, and they're talking about times long past, and hoping that they don't forget that, or if they don't see each other again, that their memories will carry them on. And one of the verses talks about, and there's a hand, my trusty fear. That means, here's my hand, my friend, my trusty friend, and gie's a hand o' thine, which means, and give me your hand as well. And we'll tak a right good willy walked. You'll wonder what that means. That means we're going to take a dram together of a good Scotch whiskey for Auld Lang Syne, for times long since. And so we hope you've enjoyed this tonight. Sing along as you learn this melody, or sing along with the melody that you know for Auld Lang Syne. And we hope that we can all be together again live very soon.
Thank you.